everything. My thoughts, my weekends, my energy, my creativity. For a 4-year period, it was everything. It was who I was. I'm Dan Martell, the CEO of Sphere. Hi there, I'm Dan Martell, serial entrepreneur, investor, and creator of SaaS Academy. In this episode, I'm gonna share with you why selling my first company almost killed me, like physically almost took me out. Maybe you've never gone through this, and maybe you have, but here's what I've learned. For some of you, selling your business, even the consideration of selling it might cause you to break out into hives, get anxiety attacks, feel like a sense of loss, because your business and who you are, they're one thing. They're not separate. And anytime people that have connected their self-worth and identity to a thing, if that goes away, then you go away with it. I've seen it happen in relationships with coaching clients that, were in marriages and they were dependent on their wife, and then they separate, and all of a sudden their identity, their self-worth, who they are as a person goes with that marriage, right? And I know for me, that story held true. When I sold my company, Spheric Technologies, on the day it closed, okay, when I made millions of dollars and I should have been celebrating and happy, I woke up and I felt like I had a rock sitting on my chest and I couldn't explain it. I was like, I'm 28 years old, I'm healthy, I'm strong, I go to the gym. Why do I feel like this pressure on my chest? And it kept going. And it got to the point where I had panic attacks, where I started having like anxiety attacks in social settings, or, just even driving, just have a hard time breathing. And I ended up reaching out to like the local doctor network to get on a call with a psychiatrist. At the point, at that time in my life, I didn't have one. I didn't even know who to talk to. And I went to see a psychiatrist because it was like having like anxiety things going on in my brain and these negative thoughts. And I thought, how crazy is this? And when I told him what was happening, he was like, yeah, it's super normal. And I said, why? He goes, because for a long time, your business and who you are, they were connected. And, even though you're like, hey, this is this great moment that you've been dreaming of your whole entrepreneurial career, your body also goes like, hey, it's almost like you lost a big part of who you are, and he said, not to the same degree, but in the same essence, if you're a mother and you lose a child, you birth this child, like that's a really tough place to go. And like when you build this business, and he asked me to explain like what went into building the company Spheric. And I was like, 100-hour weeks, everything, my thoughts, my weekends, my energy, my creativity, the pain, the challenges, the celebration, the highs, the lows, like for a 4-year period, it was everything. It was who I was. I'm Dan Martell, the CEO of Spheric. Like it was the same thing. And he goes, exactly. And it was a really tough time for me. And he made me, I remember the prescription, because I was telling a friend this yesterday, because they went through and they said, what did the doctor tell you to do? Because they gave my friend Valium. And I said, well, at first he told me to walk around with a rock in my pocket, which might sound crazy, but for whatever reason, he's like, whenever you feel this panic attack, come on, just squeeze the rock. Now, I don't know if it was like, a baloney story he was trying to tell me, and maybe there was more like belief in the rock than actual like physical reaction to it, but somehow it worked, and then he gave me, I consider, some excellent advice, some great medical advice, which was buy a boat because you should spend more time in the water. And I lived on the ocean, and I was like, okay, so you're telling me I should go buy a boat and spend most of my time in the ocean wake surfing? Done. And I'm joking, but that helped me a lot too. There's just something about being in the sun and relaxing that kind of helped me get through it. And I just remember going through that experience of having external success, and people were like, oh, you must be so proud of yourself and how good for you and all these things. And at the same time going like, you have no idea what I'm feeling inside. And over the years, I've promised myself learning those lessons learned, these beliefs. And that's what I want to share with you today is how did I continue to build companies? Because I've gone on now to build and exit 2 other companies after that, Flowtown and Clarity, and then I've built SaaS Academy. Now I invest in companies for high-speed venture. So how have I gone on in my life to keep playing a big game, so not letting me be scared of that feeling again, but not have to go through that pain. And the three things I want to share with you, they're really big insights. If you've probably never gone through this, I want to prepare you for it. First one is to disconnect. Disconnect your personal value from the success of the business, right? You are not your business. I am not my business. I am who I am. Success, failure, the value of the business has zero reflection on the value of me as a person. It's the same thing I tell to a lot of my friends that have kids, is your kids' success in life should be zero reflection as you as a person. Okay, now you might take that harshly because you're like, well, what if my kid doesn't do well in school? Isn't that a reflection of like me? It's like, yeah, maybe, but who you are fundamentally as a human being, when your kid is 18 years old and they're making decisions out in the world and hopefully they've moved on outside of your house and they're starting to live their own life, like that's on them. You're not responsible for their decisions. You guide them, you instill principles. If you're thoughtful about it, you try to create rhythms and rituals and meanings and values and all those fun things. Those are things that I do with my family. But at the end of the day, my kids, the way they show up in the world, honestly, I don't take credit for it, and I don't take it as a downside if they're acting out. That's who they are. They're individual humans. The business is a business. I don't care how successful it is or not. Its value in the world is not a reflection of the value of who I am as an individual. So that's the first thing, is you got to disconnect. Number two is you got to take care of you. You are the constant. You will take, and I tell this to all my coaching clients, invest in yourself. Be present, learn new skills, become more. Why? It may not be this business. It may not even be the next business. It could be the next business after that. But all I know is that you are the only constant and through line in your story of life. You will be the only thing that's true in every interaction, in every moment that you experience. So, taking care of you, your health, you're putting yourself first, vacations, creating the space for you to reflect and have, like recently I shared that joy, I think, comes down to 3 daily practices: a gratitude practice, an empathy practice, and a mindfulness practice like meditation. If you do those and you put yourself first, you're going to be able to continue to grow without the externalities affecting how you feel. Like your business and its success will not affect you because that's not who you are, and you're building and you're taking care of yourself. And finally, you got to lock in the learnings. Like, to me, I don't care what happens to you, right? It's the meaning you associate to that and what do you learn from it. I like to ask my clients whenever something bad happens, and it's hard for them. It's a pill they do not want to swallow. I say, how did you contribute to that outcome? And they're like, what are you talking about? My co-founder quit on me. The bank called our line of credits, or our servers went down because Amazon went down, or site went down. I was like, yeah, how did you contribute to that? They're like, how did I affect Amazon? And I'm like, did you choose to go on Amazon? No, my CTO chose to go on Amazon. Did you hire your CTO? Yes. Then that's worth considering. You have to lock in the learnings. Because for me, whenever I go through these moments, where I feel a certain way, where I'm like, why am I feeling this way? These things, every once in a while I do like push really hard and I'm like, whoa, there's some feedback. What I learn is like that moment, okay, that rock bottom, okay, feeling bad for me. Like if I wake up, my rock bottom is different than everybody else's, right? But I just believe rock bottom is a great foundation for a comeback. I believe that for you. If you're listening to this and you're like, man, I'm going through this now, I just feel like I've had this big setback. Hey, rock bottom, great foundation for a comeback. That is yours to create, to bring into the world, to manifest, to make it your own. And that's why for me, like, even though I've been able to go on and exit 2 other companies and build and continue to build and invest, over the years, I've just learned who I am, right? And to me, this is like the best quote to just summarize what I just shared with you. And it's from a guy named Osho, okay? He's a famous Indian religious leader. He actually has, I forget what he has a Netflix documentary or biography on it, Osho. But he has this great quote with the only thing that matters in life, check this out, the only thing that matters in life is your opinion of yourself. Think about that. It's like the best quote ever. The only thing that matters in life is the opinion you have of yourself. Because from there, it will set how you feel, right? And if when I sold my company, I had an opinion, and that created anxiety and pressure. And now the way I look at my life is I know who I am, and I know my relationships and the value, and I create all these things externally, but their success has nothing to do with my personal worth. And that is the opinion I have of myself. And that's what I wanted to share with you, because I think if you can take that message and put it in your heart, put it in your mind, and live from that place, it can create a lot of joy for you. So I hope this message finds you incredible. And as per usual, I want to challenge you to live a bigger life and a bigger business, and I'll see you next Monday.